bracha from Yerushalayim. We'd love to share whatever we have with as many people as we can. I would like to discuss some of the ideas in Parshat Yitro with specific reference to the beginning of the section dealing with Jethro, the father-in-law of our great teacher Moses. And if I'm allowed poetic license, I would like to suggest that the section of Yitro can be referred to as the parasha of the relationship to one's father-in-law. Perhaps this is the section in which we read of the giving of the Ten Commandments in order to teach us how important it is to learn from the actions of Moshe how to respect one's parent-in-law. 13 different times it says that Yitro was the father-in-law of Moshe. Instead of just saying father, instead of just saying Jethro, instead of just saying Yitro, it says the father-in-law of Moshe. Moshe greets his father-in-law. The father-in-law came. I am your father-in-law. Over and over references to father-in-law. And I would like to suggest that the Torah is teaching us a level of sensitivity to a relationship to a father-in-law, a relationship to a parent-in-law. We have a tradition in the Torah that Moshe was the most humble man on earth. And always the students of Torah are looking for proof texts. Where do we find the fact that Moshe is so humble? And the Torah is replete with references. I would like to suggest that one of the most unusual sentences ever said about anyone is in our section, in this same chapter here, in chapter 18, where after Yitro comes and tells his son-in-law, you're doing everything wrong. Lo tov hadavar asher ata oseh. This is no good, and this is no good, and this is wrong, and that's wrong. And listen to me. I will give you proper direction. You want to know how to run the people? Yeah, you want to know how to run the Jewish people? I will tell you. But you know who's talking here? This is the Kohen Mijan. This is who is he? He's not the chief leader of the Jewish people. He's coming and he's telling Moshe how to run the Jewish nation. I think that most sons-in-law in the world who are now leaders of a nation, numbering maybe a few million people, would either politely or not so politely tell their father-in-law to go back to leave, go run Mijan. And this is what the Torah says: Vayishma Moshe lekol choteno, vayas kol asher amar. Moshe listened to the voice, to the message of his father-in-law, and he did everything that he told him to do. Vayas kol asher amar. Is there another son-in-law in the world, in world history? Is there any son-in-law anywhere that did everything that his father-in-law told him to do? Yes? What?
Probably Rav Chaim Kanievsky to Rav Elyashiv.
Oh, yeah? Maybe? You think so?
Probably.
That's so sweet, Leah. That's a beautiful example of two great people in our generation. A great rabbi who's the father-in-law is such a great rabbi, and the son-in-law is such a great rabbi. That's a beautiful example. But there, in the example that you're giving, Elio, the father-in-law is a great Torah personality, correct?
Yeah.
Is Yitro a great Torah personality?
Huh?
What?
No.
And vayas kol asher amar derech eretz kadma la Torah. Fine manners, proper forms of behavior, proper forms of respect. That's part of the prelude. That's part of the prerequisite before one gets to the Torah. So the section of the Torah, we have the 54 sections of the year, the Parshiot. The parasha, the section of the Ten Commandments is called by the name of Moshe's father-in-law, perhaps to teach us. My father, blessed memory, always used to teach that in Hebrew, the word for groom is identical with the word for... What does chatan mean in Hebrew? What? Chotain means father-in-law. Chatan means son-in-law. Chatan means a groom. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Chatan means a groom in Hebrew. And Chatan means son-in-law. Kala means a bride, and Kala means daughter-in-law. Maybe this is one of the most outstanding accomplishments of Moshe, and this ultimately leads him to the receipt of Torah. Because Moshe kibel Torah mi Sinai. Moshe received the Torah from Sinai, not at Sinai, not on Sinai, but from Sinai. Maybe Sinai was chosen because of its humility, according to one midrashic reading, the humble mountain. Moshe understood the values of Torah from Sinai. The Hebrew word for father-in-law in our parsha is chutein. Elsewhere in the Torah, father-in-law is referred to by another word, cham. Cham and chamot. Cham, remember that from which parsha? Do you remember it? Maybe Tamar and Yehuda. Hine chamich. Cham means a father-in-law. Chamot means a mother-in-law. And of course, cham means...
Also in Hebrew nowadays.
That's spoken Hebrew also. And what does cham mean? Besides father-in-law? A certain level of warmth. There's so many jokes. I don't think many of them are funny. But there's so many jokes about in-law jokes. So many. Why do so many comedians and comedians enjoy making fun of in-law relations? Maybe it's because it's such a serious teaching. We read Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha, and the rabbis speak about why doesn't it just say honor your father and your mother? It could just say Kabed avicha ve'imecha. What is this et? Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha. It includes something beyond your father, beyond your mother. Some people find it very difficult to respect their in-laws because they feel a certain problem with allegiance. Because if this is my Abba, if this is my father, so how can he also be my father? This is Abba. That's also Abba. If this is Ima, so how could she be Ima? And so many people, it's not just the way they refer to them, but inside, they feel a certain difficulty in trying to establish a relationship with a newfound father or a newfound mother. The Sefer Charedim, a wonderful, outstanding work, writes, V'chein ha'ish chayav b'chvod chamiv v'chamoto, and a person is obligated to show honor to his father-in-law and to his mother-in-law. Why? V'ta'aman, and the reason is because a husband and wife are really one being. The Midrash points out that we find in Tanakh a son-in-law calling his father Avi. Shaul was the father-in-law of King David in the 24th chapter of the first Samuel. Avi re'eh gam re'eh. Perhaps that's a level of relationship. I hope that together as we study the section of Yitro, all of the relationships between parents-in-law and children-in-law should be solidified all throughout the world, generally and specifically within the Jewish community, within the Torah community. Parshat Yitro should be a shining light to teach us how to bring parents-in-law and children-in-law closer and closer together, and hopefully to reach the level of Moshe and Parshat Yitro, and by extension through the study of our section, which is the study of the section of the parent-in-law. Not only will the children get closer to the parents, not only will the parents get closer to the children, but all of the in-laws will get closer to each other as well. Hopefully that will happen this evening. Thank you so much for listening.
I'm a neurosurgeon, and I'm working here in Adasa and Keren. When I learned about the Torah, also I'm always looking about the medical point of view, the way we dress for entering to do a surgery. I relate to the way they got to dress the Kohen to enter for offering a sacrifice. The way that he got to wash his hands is the same way we got to wash the hands for entering to a surgery. I'm really enjoying about what is Jerusalem, what is the meaning of the spiritual, this is the spiritual capital of the world. I think that we need to learn more and more and to turn our hearts to God. I think it's something that comes from inside to the outside, that we may put inside God of our hearts, and we may show to others that really God is making something new inside us. The Torah is making a change in us and really is doing great things.